Good afternoon, good afternoon. Mic check 1 2. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Okay, it's another day in the life, in the incredible life of yours truly, EKC. I'm out here in Cabaret, Punta Cara. Is this Punta Cara? Or is this shit, what the hell is this Puerto Plata. What the fuck am I thinking? I'm out here in Puerto Plata, the town in Puerto Plata called Cabaret, about 20 minutes outside of Sosua. I was in Sosua earlier this week. I was in Sosua. I left on Monday, got there Friday, and before that I was in Santo Domingo for a couple days, and just get my experience about Sosua in particular. I'll talk about Cabaret also. I knew I wasn't gonna like it. I knew I was going to not enjoy it because I'm not about the things. I'm not about doing that shit. I'm not about tricking. And I'm not hating on anybody that does trick. I understand it, and there's a need for it, but I also think it's a double-edged sword. I mean, I think the reason you can't get the woman you want is because you pay for sex with these women, and it's a transactional exchange, and that trickles down. Eventually, they do mature, and it's just I guess a self-fulfilling loop, where you don't want these promiscuous women, yet you go after them because you want to fulfill some type of sexual gratification, and vice versa. The women would like men to take care of them, but they can't find any responsible men. It's a shortage of responsible men, or maybe it's not a shortage of them. It's just hard to find responsible men that want to wait for whatever reasons. Anyway, it's just a fucked up situation. But I'm gonna talk about my. I'm not gonna go into detail. I'm gonna just talk about my experience in Sosua. Now, coming from Miami, I've met a lot of Dominican women, a lot. I had a few Dominican girlfriends, and I still keep in contact with a few sliders that are Dominican also. So I really never wanted to come to DR in particular, even though I was here just a month ago. But that was for my birthday to do some chill shit. But everybody's been talking about Sosua. You got to go to Sosua, and they've told me all types of stories about how the women are there, and of course I like to go for women. I like to see women. I like to hang out with women. I'm a sociable guy, but that was. I'm like, okay, what else is there to Sosua? What else is there? Okay, they got some women. Everywhere has a woman. So I was never really inclined to come. My friend's been telling me for years to come out here, years. And so finally I said, my boys set it up. I said, okay, I'm going to go to Sosua, but I know I'm not going to like it. From all the stories that they told me, I mean, because it's just, I'm going to give you the real, it's a whore town. Whereas 95% of all the women in there are fucking whores. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, but everybody was telling me, oh yeah, they're beautiful women, and you may be able to find something that you like, blase blase. So I said, let me go and check it out, but I'm gonna have some, I'm gonna go and do some other things, you know. So that's the reason I'm here in Cabaret, specifically to go kiteboarding. And I've been trying to kiteboard for years in Miami, and never had the time, never dedicated the time to do it, I should say. I did it sporadically, so I was never proficient in kiteboarding. So I said, let me come out here to Kite Beach. It was like one of the kite capitals of the world. So I said, let me come out here and learn some kiteboarding. But Sosua is only 20 minutes away. So I'm gonna hang out with the boys and Sosua, and I'm probably not gonna like it. And I didn't. I was utterly disgusted by Sosua, and not because of not the women. The women, they're very transactional, and you couldn't really tell, but they all had. And I was really looking for something that I can, that I would be attracted to. That's what I came out here looking for, something that I could be attracted to, and I could not find not one. And that's really rare that I go somewhere and I'm not attracted to anything. Well, the main reason I'm not attracted is because I know the backdrop and the backstory is they're whores, and I'm not attracted to a whore. So, but even take that away, say they weren't whores. I can't really take that away, because if they weren't whores, I may have gave one or two a try. One or two. It was just one that I thought was attractive until I had seen her up close. She had the lashes and all the fake shit. And that shit is just automatic turn off to me. You're dead in the water if you wear them fucking dumbass lashes and weave and all that other foolish shit that you put on your fucking head. That got me banned on Hinge for saying that. But let me tell you another reason why I didn't like it, because I felt sort of like, I'll tell a quick story to give the impression. When I would come home on leave in the military, I would go to one particular strip club in Miami. I think the name was Club Ice. Yeah, I think it was called Club Ice. It was a friend of mine's dad's strip club. So I would go there and I would always get love. I would go and chop it up with him real quick and have a drink. And, I don't like strip clubs, but I would go and talk to him and chop it up, have a drink, and get the fuck out of there. It was in the hood, so I kind of liked that too. It was just, the atmosphere was just, electric, just getting down there on 79th and seeing all the whores. And it was just electric, and I just liked that coming home from wherever the fuck I was. I would like to go there first. So one time I came home, and something just didn't feel right. The air was, I could just smell it wasn't right. Something was off. But I'm walking to the strip club, and Miami clubs in general, they changed owners, they changed names. So I come in unannounced. So I see something is different about the club, right? I don't see the hookers on the side that you normally see on 79th Street back in those days. And it's a crowd of dudes walking in. So I think I had a rental car. I don't know what car I had. I don't know how the fuck I got there. Yeah, I know I didn't take a cab or an Uber or anything like that. I drove out there. And I was kind of dressed down, probably wearing what the fuck I'm wearing now, something similar. And as I'm walking into the club, I'm seeing all the dudes walking back and forth. And, I'm being cordial. And like, hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's up, man? Just walking normally. And I was getting some kind of weird vibe. Just a weird vibe. Right. And then when I get to the door, I know the bouncers don't know me and don't remember me, but I was going to plug the owner's name and say, yo, I'm just coming here to chop it up with him. But the door wasn't open. And usually the door is open from my memory, from my recollection, and you could see stuff in there. I think I would see him sitting at this corner or something like that, and I would, wave at him and say, yo, what's up, man? And then he'd come out there and get me in for free. But as I'm approaching the doorman, he's sitting down, and he kind of knew something was off, right? That I didn't, maybe the club just changed. But he said, it's a gay strip club now. And he had that funny smirk on his face. yeah, one of those funny smirks on his face. And I said, what? He's like, yeah. And I immediately turned around and walked away. And I'm seeing all these dudes walk in. Regular looking Miami dudes. And now I'm not saying what's up to people, because now I'm thinking that they thinking I just came from, that spot. And I just felt like people thought I was, I felt embarrassed, basically. I didn't want to be associated with that crowd, because that's not me, right? So that's the backdrop of that story. Why I said that's how I felt in Sosua. So I'm in Sosua, and they got clubs, just like in the States, but they're off. There's something funny about it. It's just like, if you didn't know any better, and they just dropped me off that without giving me a backdrop and everything, I would sense something is off. The women there it was just something funny, and the dudes, it was just something a little bit off. A couple cool looking dudes, but a lot of weirdo looking dudes, a lot of lame ass looking niggas, to tell you the truth. And maybe because the age disparity was so broad. It was just like, you got some young cats, you got some old cats, not older, old cats. I mean, like, pushing over 70, all having a good time, all vibing. I'm not saying that they weren't all having a good time, but I've seen that before in other parts of the country, like in little parts of Georgia and parts of Maryland. I've seen like little country clubs where it's like that, but this wasn't that country. This is more of a city type environment. And I sat down. My partners that I was with, they were out there interacting with the women and mingling, and I was just ready to go home every night. But I was trying to give it some type of a chance. I didn't want to just shoot it down, because I already knew in my head I already had shot it down. So I'm sitting there trying, hoping things will get better. And I'm not going to divulge any personal information about the friends I was with. But they were enjoying themselves. And I knew that's, why they came. I told them I'm not going to, indulge myself, because it's just not what I'm attracted to. It's just not what I like. Maybe when I was younger, I may have participated in those type of activities, but now I just don't feel the need that I need to. I don't have to. I mean, and I'm not saying that they have to. I'm just saying that it's just something that I don't enjoy. Having random sex with a hooker. That feels no need in my life. So then I went and we went to a whole bunch of different places. The women here are a little off. Like, Um, I got the rundown from everybody. You know, if you approach them and you talk, they're gonna be right here. They're in your face. They're always trying to talk to you. But if you pay them no mind, which I normally do with any women, unless I'm after them, I don't just generally give compliments out like that and shit like that, unless I'm attracted to it and I'm really trying to seek some type of chemistry or something with them. I don't want to say relationship in particular, but you know, you get the gist of what I'm saying. So, what really was the last straw is when we went to this casino. So we were at this sports bar. Oh, I forgot the fucking name. You come here, you'll know it. Everybody knows it. I'm not. And we get after the sports bar, was watching the fight. That was pretty cool. Watching the fight, and after the fight, watching the LA game. Then it was probably 11, 12 o'clock. Said, oh, let's go to the casino because the casino is supposed to have one of the best clubs. And I said, okay, let me go to the casino with these people. Maybe I'll play some poker, see what it's looking like. So I went to the casino and met up with the fellas, and I decided just to play some poker, a little 1-2, just to waste time. The poker game was boring as usual. They had 2 tables. Only one was actually seated, and they played 10 players. It was a $60 buy-in. A bunch of boring poker. The poker was boring, but it was good to chop it up with people and talk. And it was funny seeing the interactions with the poker players and the hookers, and it was actually kind of cool. So I got bored because I'm playing fucking 1-2. Of course I get bored. I can't play that game anymore. And I said, let me go into the club. So it was, I think it was like a couple bucks to get in. I forgot. So I go in, and I immediately hated it. It looked like a Miami club. It looked like Story. It reminded me of fucking Story, where they had this big like VIP in the middle, and was that Story? Yeah, that was Story, where they put the big VIP in the middle, and then they had everybody all around, and it was packed. And then you had guys with bottles, you know, and nothing but hookers inside. It was a lot of hookers. It was more hookers than dudes, but they're all hookers, all whores, all prostitutes. Damn, I don't know if I can say all of that, but anyway, I stayed for literally 20 seconds. I just went and saw my boys, and they were having the time of their lives. I mean, they were enjoying it. And I said, what the fuck is this? I said, I'm not staying in this shithole. And I felt embarrassed to be there because I don't have to be there. This is not what I do. So I felt really embarrassed to be a part of that. But I did some kind of face saving, I guess you could say, is I only stayed for 20 seconds. I really went in, looked around. It was fucking packed. I'm like, why the fuck am I coming to some packed ass club with a bunch of whores all around me? I felt disgusted. I didn't want them to touch me. I didn't want to be in that. Anyway, so I immediately left and went back to the room and said, okay, that's it. And I said, that's Sosua. I said, I guess people like it. And then the funny shit is, the next day, I said, okay, Sosua has a really nice beach. Several really nice beaches. I forgot the name of the beach that our Airbnb was right on. It was really nice, but it was kind of secluded. And I thought that since it's away from the main strip, that's why it was kind of dead. when I say dead, there were no hookers out there, or people hanging out. You know, it was a bunch of European and North American, Caucasian tourists on the beach. Every morning I would wake up and get out there and watch the sunrise as I usually do. But I'm just saying, I didn't see the same environment or the same demographics of people on that beach. I thought it was just that area. So I said, hey, tomorrow let's go out to the beach and see what it's looking like on just, you know, the actual beach next to the strip where they got all the restaurants, bars, and everything at. So me and my homeboy, we went out there. And then while I'm walking by, I see a little dive shop. They had multiple. I said, okay, let me go dive. So my dive was at 3:30. We walked around I guess you could say, the bar restaurant area, and then we walked on the actual beach. And it was sort of like most Caribbean beaches. Bunch of kids out there, a bunch of families hanging out, bunch of activities. Everybody was having a good time. No, I'm not gonna say no hookers, but it was not like, maybe they were in there with their family shuffled in there, but you couldn't find any hookers if you wanted to. If you wanted to go get a hooker, if that's what you want to do, not on the beach. And I was thinking maybe I bought my little speaker out there, and I was thinking maybe we could have a good vibe, listen to some music. It wasn't gonna happen. None of those guys from that club scene were out there on the beach, which I found pretty odd. But it makes sense because they're only there for the whores and the hookers. So why would they go to the beach and hang out? They just want to be with the hookers. So I do agree with, unfortunately, I do agree with some of these passport bro haters. On a lot of these guys are coming out here, in Sosua in particular, you know, to have sex with these whores. And that same feeling I get, like, I'm in Cabaret, and I walk around. I always walk around, you know, and I go out in the cities. I'm in the city. I take the local jitneys, the local transportation. I hit the city buses, and I explore the city. I see the people. You know, I hang out, and they can tell I'm not from here, and the semi-attractive, because I haven't found any actual attractive women that I see, but the ones that I do, I can tell that they think that I am a whoremonger. I sense that vibe from them. Now, when we chop it up, it's a different story. They can tell that I'm not like that. But they kind of see that I'm not like that just off of my the way I carry myself. But I understand, just like other parts of the world where they have a lot of whore culture, that the locals don't really like to hang out with the tourists. You know, you only have a tourist group of people that hang out with the tourists. You know, it's like real segregated, and I sense that type of vibe out here as well. Because I was just walking to this little this mini mart. They're not called bodegas. It's a little mini mart to get a USB plug or some shit. And I saw this semi-attractive woman that didn't have the bullshit. You could tell because they don't have tattoos. They don't have the lashes, the BBLs, and she was going to inside a real estate office. And walked right past her, and I could tell she was just like, "Oh, here's a tourist." I wasn't trying to holler at her or anything, but I didn't get any good interaction from her. So my suggestion, if you are the type of person that does not have problems meeting women, and you don't like whores, prostitutes, hookers, workers, you don't like those type of women, don't come to Sosua. I might even say don't come to DR, but I haven't really stayed in Santo Domingo too much, and I'm going back in a couple days, and I'm going to Boca Chica again, but I ain't coming back to this shit. It's just not my cup of tea. That's it.